Yes, guys, how are you doing? Marty from AFTV here today for the starting 11. We are live from BOXPARK, the main, main place to be if you want to come and watch football, have drinks, have fun with your friends. If you haven't already, please please subscribe to the channel, and please leave comments. And please, guys, get your super chats in, get the comments in the comments box. Before I introduce my very well esteemed panel, I have got a bunch of absolute legends with me today who I am now going to introduce to you. So, listen, if you need someone that knows everything about sports, you go to the channel, right? This man, if you can't get one Lyle brother, you get the other, right? This Lyle brother is one of the most esteemed sports commentators and YouTubers on this planet. May I introduce to you, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Laurie Lyle.
Yeah, come on.
Wow, how do I follow that? I mean, that is...
Thank you, I did try.
Checks in the post.
There you go, right. And then that leads me on very well. When you need support, you need a 12th man, literally, which leads me on to this guy who needs little or absolutely no introduction. Listen, what this guy doesn't know about Arsenal potentially is not worth knowing. Let me introduce to you Mr. Daniel Potts.
Yeah.
Big up, man. Wow, this is an intro, isn't it? I'll tell you. Like, Robbie don't give me this intro because we've got Dan in. That's it. You know what I mean? Big up to you, Marty. Big up. Pleasure to be here, man.
So, last but certainly not least, one of the greatest and newest additions to AFTV. This lady knows it all when it comes to football and brings vibes and smiles. The delectable Ella.
Oh, Marty, that's so kind. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for the lovely intro.
Thank you. Well, listen, I spent all night working at them. So,
yeah, writing down notes.
Writing down notes.
Yeah,
I went through, rehearsed them in the mirror the lot. So, guys, we are here today to speak about the starting 11, talk about this absolutely monumental game at Anfield. This is going to be huge today. This potentially right here and right now could define Arsenal's season. We go to Anfield, we nick 3 points, then season is fully on, up and running. We're going to talk about the new signings. We are going to talk about the game, a bit of the game last week. We're going to get up and running straight away. So, Laurie, absolute pleasure to have you here, my man. How are you? How's your week been?
Good, man, good. I've spent a lot of it looking forward to this game, actually. Can't wait for this game. I've been building up to it all week. And yeah, I'm one of those Arsenal fans that are confident. People telling me I'm too confident, but I don't believe so. I think we could be playing Liverpool at the right time. I'm encouraged by what's going on. Okay, we've had injury issues going into this game, but I believe that the squad is strong enough, and I think we can get something today, without a doubt.
Okay, good. Dan, how are you feeling?
I think most of the fans are feeling quietly confident. I think we're playing Liverpool at a good time. And I know when he saw the first 6 come out, everyone was thinking, oh, that's a tough start. But I would argue that it's quite a good time to play these teams now because they don't look 100% settled. There's still a question mark over whether they're going to strengthen more in terms of Liverpool and Arsenal and the teams that we're facing around us. And when they're unsettled. And Liverpool certainly look vulnerable defensively. We all know they can score goals and they've got firepower up front. But I have confidence in our defence of the last sort of 12 to 18 months that we can shut up shop. So it's all about whether we can take the 3 points today. And I think a lot of fans are quietly confident we can, man.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good. So, Ella, today, how are we feeling?
Yeah, it's obviously a huge game. I think in terms of how Arsenal fans should be feeling, I think there definitely should be a feeling of confidence around this game. And, you know, not to echo what these guys have said, actually. Yeah, I think there definitely is a sense that this Liverpool side is unsettled, and in the last couple of games, in their opening 2 Premier League games that I've watched, I think there's definitely been areas where you look at that and you think that this Arsenal side could definitely exploit. I think when you look at their back line, you know, we're not a team that tends to concede that many goals, and I think that's something that we'll have to really, that could definitely be our strongest point today, is not really conceding goals, and potentially also Liverpool then also conceding. I really think that we could win this game, and I don't want to say we should win, but I really think we should take advantage of a Liverpool side that looks a little bit shaky, I think.
Definitely. Look, for me personally, this is looking at this Arsenal side, I haven't looked at an Arsenal side. Obviously, I've been watching Arsenal like you guys for many, many years, and I have not, and this is just how I see it, I've not looked at an Arsenal side like this for the last 20 years. Last time I saw an Arsenal side that is potentially as capable as they are of going, doing a job, sticking teams away and delivering and doing what needs to be done would be in the early 2000s. That's how I'd see it. When I look at, you know, obviously bringing Eze back to the club, you know, that full circle, what an addition this player could be. I actually the other day I watched a highlights reel of this guy again, and this guy, like I watched him all the last season. I watched quite a bit of Crystal Palace, and I don't think that as Arsenal fans we understand maybe the magnitude of this signing and how potentially he could be one like Gyökeres. You know, we've been crying out for a number 9 for a long time. Right? It feels like forever since the likes of basically pretty much Aubameyang. That was, I think, probably maybe our last true out and out number 9. You know, that would go and get you goals. And I'm really excited about him as a signing, and there's no better time. I think, you know, they're all fit, they're all ready to go. You talk about Liverpool being got at. It looks like Mark Gay is Liverpool are gonna get him for 40 million quid. It looks like that deal's, if it hasn't been done today, it will get done tomorrow. I know Palace were like, look, you know, we reside. We've got 1 year left on his contract, and they're kind of resided to the fact that he's going, and they said, look, 40 million quid does it. So obviously, and also there's this Isak situation. So I think we're playing Liverpool at a time where they might not have their full reinforcements that they're going to buy through this transfer window, and I think we've got everything apart from Hincapi. I think other than that we are basically done. But it also, just to touch on that, one thing about this transfer window about buying the best sporting director in the world was what a transfer that was in itself, just getting Andrea Berta and how he has transformed Arsenal with all of these signings. What do you think, Laurie?
Listen, man, you said it very well there. I mean, Andrea Berta came to the club off the back of a really big reputation, and this is his first transfer window. He's brought in 8 players. Well, Hincapi will be the 8th one. And all of those signings, I've checked them out. They're all, obviously, the proof will be in the pudding. But to me, I'm pleased with all of those signings. I think Arsenal have had an excellent transfer window. I'm on the record as saying 8 or 9 out of 10 for me.
Yeah.
Only Liverpool possibly. I know you spoke about them getting Gay, possibly Isak. Okay, if they get those, then possibly they've had a better window. But up to this point, we're talking today, I think they've had the best window so far.
Yeah, definitely. Dan?
Look, I'm a big fan of what Andrea Berta has done. I really am, and I think that people talk about the incomings, and they've got 8 of them. I never expected 8 signings to Arsenal for the first thing. I think what he's also done that people haven't really spoken about enough is actually tied some of our players down to contracts. And I think Saka and Saliba, fingers crossed, are looking pretty good as well from what we hear behind the scenes. And then you look at the players that we're now looking to try and get out. Now, I know Kivior was a good player of last season, but if you can get some money for him and he wants to go first team football, you've got to let him go. What I liked about that was we're bringing in Nkapaye straight away, pretty much. There's talks of Vieira looking at going, Lokonga today looking at going, Zinchenko looking at potentially going, Reece Nelson looking at potentially going in the next few hours. So I think for me, I don't think we've had a 10 out of 10 window, but I think Andrea Berta's close to a 10 out of 10 in terms of his job, because I think he's done his job. He can sit there now and go, right, I deserve a rest, I've done a lot there, over to you, Mikel. So I think that's what we needed, was there's no more excuses, Arsenal got to deliver, and we can't have this, oh, we're short again, oh, we haven't bought this, oh, we still not got a striker, oh, who's coming in for Saka? I think we've answered that now. You know, Eze, you're right, and big up to you as well, Mr. ITK, by the way, for Eze. But I'll say, you know, look, for me,
I remember times you actually hammered me for it.
I did.
Like, this ain't going to happen.
Well, this guy's going to Tottenham, what's he talking about? But we got our guy, man, and big up to you for that. But I think Eze coming in is obviously a brilliant signing. I think that he's actually genuine cover for Odegaard that I think you need. Obviously, Madueke coming in now covers for Saka and can play left as well. And up top, we've got the guy that I wanted, which was Victor Gyökeres. So I think along with Zubimendi and like a couple of other defenders we bought, I think I had a good window. I don't think you can complain. I don't think
I
there's any
think it's a
Arsenal
very good
player,
window.
yeah, that can say, "Oh, what was that? It was a shambles." I mean, look at it last summer. That was a shambles.
Yeah.
Now people were rating that 7 and 8. Trust me, it wasn't a 7 and 8. It was a 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a 7 and 8 window. Do you know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm really impressed with the job Andrew Bert's done for sure, man.
Yeah. What about you, Ella?
Well, I think it shows real intent from the club. You know, I'll never disrespect Edu and what he did because, you know, there were some big players that came in under him. But I think what's amazing is that we have a sense of security. There's going to be no deadline day Sterling on loan. We've now got in all the players that we want. We've now got the squad that we want and that we should be able to really, really compete with and win something under. And I think Berta just seems really serious. He seems like a serious business guy that just gets things done, and I really, really rate that. And for the signings that we have made, I mean, I could never have anticipated 8 signings. I thought we maybe needed 5. I mean, obviously it's dependent on outgoings as well, but 8, we've now got a really top. I think we've got probably the best squad in the league with everyone fit. I really do. We've got some real talented players. Like you're saying, Dan, we now have backup for Saka, proper backup for Saka, and proper backup for Odegaard, which we didn't have last season, and we saw when Odegaard got injured.
Yeah.
It was almost like a season over. Like you don't have a
Right
proper
through the
replacement.
spine of the team, from the goalkeeper through to the defence,
We've
midfield,
literally,
up front.
our 3 players bought another team.
And I want to say as well,
You need
right?
that.
I know this doesn't get said often, but shout out to the board on this one because they've backed Berta
Yeah.
with the money to go out and get the signings.
Yeah.
That's important. So we should give him credit for that.
Do you know what? And this is the crazy thing, right? Which, you know, I think the Cronkies have come under a lot of stick from Arsenal fans. You know, this Cronkies out and stuff like this. But from where I'm standing and where I sit, they've gone in, they've got their man, and they haven't just gone and got their man and just been like, right, you go and do this on a grain of rice. You know, they've been like, right, we're having you, mate. You come in, do this job, and we're going to give you money. We're going to give you money. Go and get who you want to get. And then Mikel Arteta and Berta have worked together, and they've bought 8 players, they've bought basically a team, bar 3 players.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's amazing because I was watching a show that Robbie did, his transfer show. And
Yeah.
He said apparently we're still in the look for new players now, even as we speak. So don't be surprised if tomorrow, which is a deadline day,
Isak turns
Oh,
up.
Yeah, right.
well, I wouldn't be surprised
You
by that.
heard it here first,
But,
actually. It's exclusive.
Apparently we're looking at a couple other players now as we speak.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
mad, isn't it?
so far it's been an amazing window.
I think that's what we're going to see moving forward as well with Berta, and obviously how Arsenal are operating is we're going to see us looking at a lot of players. And do you know what Berta did at Athletic
Madrid.
yeah, it's very similar. If you actually look at what he did with Simeone, it's very, very similar to what's going on with Arteta now. You know, and you know, obviously we know what happened with their successes. You know, they won stuff, and as Arsenal fans, essentially that's all we want to see is Arsenal win stuff.
And it's not just the signings, there's some real marquee signings in there as well.
Yeah.
So, as Dan was saying, we all wanted a number 9. We got Gyökeres, was excited about that.
Yeah.
But I would say arguably, and this is arguably, Eze's signing is even more exciting
I
than
agree, Laurie.
Gyökeres.
I do.
You know what I mean? Which goes to show you how good a window we've had, because we all wanted Gyökeres. We got him. We was all cock-a-hoop about that. Now Eze's come. It's almost like everyone's like, wow. You saw the reception he got last week before the Leeds game.
And
Incredible.
what's so exciting and what's so great about that whole story is if you've watched all of the, you know, the stuff around it that Arsenal did, that story, you know, what with Ian Wright, you know, for me, that was, you know, I was there when they brought Eze onto the pitch, and that was a monumental moment. Listen, okay, it didn't win us anything, I understand that, but watching what it meant to that lad to go full circle, he's been around all those clubs, Millwall, QPR, Wycombe Wanderers, you know, he's been around. And obviously he snapped his Achilles, let's not forget, at Palace. You know, he had a serious injury. To come back from that and do this full circle thing, come on at the Emirates, and what that meant to the fans at the Emirates. And obviously the whole thing with Ian Wright and everything, it was just a special moment. Now, if this guy turns up and does the business on the pitch, that's essentially now what we care about. You can have all the nostalgia and all of that, which is great, right? But you've got to turn up and you've got to do the business on the pitch.
100%. I mean, I'm not sure if myself and Dan were talking before. I'm not sure if he'll start, but if he does get minutes, I'm sure he'll do well. I hope he does get some significant minutes as well. I hope it's not just a little 10 minutes here and there. You know.
Yeah, man. I think we know we want to be seeing Eze today, and I don't know if he's starting or not, but I think we're about to find out.
So we are just about to find out. So the team news is in. It is just in. So in goal, it's interesting, right? So in goal, we start with our number one, David Raya.
Thank God for that.
Which is, we'd be in trouble if we didn't, right? So starting at right back is Urian Timber, okay? Then obviously best centre-back pairing in Europe with Saliba and Gabriel, okay?
Very good so far.
Yeah, Calafiori at left back.
That's interesting.
I thought he might go down that route.
Yeah, I kind of thought that's where he...
I wasn't sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so then, and this is where it gets interesting, okay? So you've got Zubamendi, starts in the 6, which you'd kind of think. We've got Rice playing in the 8. We've got Marino starts.
Wow.
So he started Marino.
Wow.
Do you know what? What I get about
this.
I don't know what I get about this is this aerial threat. Liverpool are not good at the moment defensively, and Marino does offer something aerially. Okay. Then we've got Madueke who start on the right hand side. Martinelli starts on the left hand side, and Gyökeres straight down the middle. Yeah. Now the Martinelli thing, what I agree with. Martinelli has got really good form against Liverpool. You know, if you look at a lot of recent games he's played, there's something about Anfield or playing against Liverpool that unleashes an animal in Martinelli. And I know he hasn't been off form of late, but I like that he started him on the left for this game. I do.
Well, I was at the corresponding game last season. I went to Anfield and Martinelli played in that game. He was arguably man of the match at that.
Yep.
So yeah, I do hear what you're saying about that.
Yeah. And then substitutes. We have Kepa on the bench. We've got Mosquera. Odegaard makes the bench.
Okay, that's good, I think.
Eze, Trossard, Wanyeri, Lewis Skelly, Dauman, and Harriman Anous. It's a very interesting bench. He's got Eze and Odegaard both on the bench, and he's starting Marino up top.
There's a really good chance that Eze might not even come on today.
Really?
I know Arteta,
yeah, I'm a bit.
he might not come onto the pitch today. He might not.
Dan, I can see
I'm not feeling
that
it, bro.
face. I can see in the face of yours.
I'm deflated, bro. I can't lie. It's a very predictable lineup other than two positions. Calafiori's frightened the life out of me against Salah because positionally he's all over the place.
Yeah.
Right? Defensively, I quite like him, and I think one-on-one he's okay. But he loves a cup of tea in the halfway line. Right? And Salah just that diagonal ball. He can't be hypocritical and go, don't like Zinchenko positionally, and then go, but I like Calafiori positionally because I think they're quite similar, really. He's obviously a better defender than Zinchenko. Having said that, I think Calafiori's been excellent in the last couple of games for Arsenal. I will say that. So I hope he has a good game against Salah. The Marino one is baffling because we've got Odegaard. I understand and appreciate he's not 100% fit. Fair play to see him on the bench. That's fine by me. Play Eze or Wanyeri, one of the two.
Yeah.
Don't put Marino up there, man. Like Marino as a number 9 has actually done better than a midfielder for us, in my opinion. And that's a worry that we're playing him in the attacking 10 role. Now, I also lastly say this: if I'm a Liverpool fan right now, I'm going, oh Timber, oh Saliba, oh shit. I get to Marino and go, oh thank God for that.
Yeah.
They're playing Marino, they're not playing Wanyeri or Odegaard or Eze. Why is he not playing one of them three? I don't get that, firstly.
I must admit,
it's got to work. I hope it works, but it's got to work, man.
The one thing I would say, Mourinho does offer you a goal for it. So I'll say that in his favour.
Yeah.
However, when he's been played in midfield, actually we've not seen him in the 10 roles. He's been further back in the 8. When he's played at 8, he's not really impressed me that much. When he's played further up the pitch, false 9,
link-up play.
Yeah.
Now, is this
and he's an experienced player, and he's a very talented footballer. He's very cerebral as a footballer. I like all that.
If we're talking about aerial threat, I get what you're saying, and I appreciate it is an aerial threat. I don't want to be lumping balls in the box today. I want to be playing. I want to give it a go. I want to actually play attacking. I don't want to keep the ball possession based, keep out wide, keep lumping it in. Marino might get his bounce on it. Gyökeres might. One of these guys. I don't want that. I want to play attacking minded football today. We've got some attackers out there, man. Martinelli's got pace. Madueke's skillful. You know what I mean? I don't want to be launching it up to Marino's head. Let's be honest. So let's hope we ain't doing it.
We've gone old school Wimbledon style all of a sudden.
Look, you know what? I'll be honest with you, mate. I don't care how we play as long as we win.
If
we win 1-0,
of course.
I hear what you're saying, Dan, but if we win 1-0 and it's ugly, I'll take that.
We have to trust he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, exactly, and he's got it right. And this is the Liverpool side that we are up against as well. So Liverpool start Alisson in goal, pretty standard, straightforward there. They have got Van Dijk and Konate centre back, and then we've got Kirkes and Wirtz is on the pitch. Zabozalai, McAllister, Salah, Gakpo, Ekitike, and Gravenberch.
That
So
is
strong
quite
side.
a strong
very
side.
strong.
On the bench, they have got Mamadou Chevalier, Gomez, Endo, Bradley, Chiesa, Jones, Elliott, Robertson, and then Gahoma.
So Szoboszlai at right back.
Yeah, Szoboszlai will be at right back.
Okay.
Yeah.
He played
Did
well
you say
against
Max
Newcastle.
Darman was on the bench?
Yeah.
So Max Darman's on the bench for Arsenal, yeah. I think it's interesting to see that we've got basically, Odegaard was this injury doubt with this shoulder, but you've got Odegaard on the bench and you've got Eze on the bench. For me, Eze's ready to rock and roll. He's had a good pre-season with Palace. He played against Chelsea for Palace, scored the free kick, which was, VAR or whatever. But he's ready to rock and roll. That is a very interesting decision from Arteta. Obviously, if we don't do well, he's going to come under a lot of criticism for the fact that
That's what we signed him for.
This is exactly what we signed him for. He's a big game player. Why is he not on the pitch?
Because we've got Marino, bro.
The other thing as well is strange about the Marino thing is I wouldn't have thought he's the best presser.
Yeah.
Now, one thing about Odegaard, no matter what you say about him, his energy levels are incredible.
Yeah.
He leads the press for Arsenal.
He's the captain.
And we're going to miss that element today because Marino, let's be honest, he's not as athletic as Odegaard is. So they will miss that as well.
Is Ethan Nwaneri? Look, Ethan Nwaneri's a kid, right? I get it. He's 18. I'm a big fan of Ethan. I think Ethan's going to be electric for Arsenal, right? If you're Ethan and you think, right, the captain's gone down, I've come on, played well, Arsenal looked better with Ethan Nwaneri in the 10 against Leeds, right? And I know it's against Leeds and it's different to Liverpool, but he might be thinking, right, okay, I've not got in this one because the captain's going to be back and we've got Eze.
Yeah.
When they're all sitting there going, Marino's getting ahead of us for, what's going on here? I find that a bit odd.
Yeah.
Like, it has to work. For me, it's clearly a tactical thing. It's clearly the way we want to play. He obviously wants some presence and some physical attributes in terms of height or whatever it be. It's got to work, man. This has to work. It can't go wrong. So I hope it does go right.
100%, I'll make you completely right on that because with having Odegaard and Eze sat on the bench, and like you say, you make a good point about when Nwaneri came on and done a fantastic job. It seems that we've got two great number 10s that are sat on the bench. It has to. It's a roll of the dice, but. Listen, if he knows what he's doing and he gets a result here, we're all going to say what an absolute tactical masterstroke he was.
I remember when he played Marino up top, a lot of us looked at each other and thought, remember?
Yeah,
thinking,
yeah.
whoa, what's he doing?
Yeah.
And Marino worked there.
You look better than Havertz.
Yeah. Well, no, he was decent. So what are your thoughts on this starting 11, Ella?
Marino is definitely an interesting one, and there obviously, like we said, there is obviously some tactical element to that. We know Marino is really good on set pieces, and listen, I'm not a betting girl, but if I was to put a bet on, we probably would score a set piece today, a corner or something like that. But I do think it's interesting. I didn't think Odegaard was going to be in the squad today, but he obviously is, and he's on the bench. I just think Eze is that signing where you've signed someone who is so Premier League proven, who's played against all of these clubs, who you actually know will score goals against top teams, City, Liverpool, Chelsea, all of these teams. And I just think it's probably because he's only had a couple training sessions and he might not feel like he's ready to jump straight in. But it's almost like, then what is the point? Because we have signed him for this exact reason. We've got a really big game now, and they knew that last weekend, a big game. Saka's out, so obviously there are going to have to be a couple switches. Odegaard also potentially out, which he is not in the starting 11. And then to not have him in the starting 11, I am a bit confused, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, or is it a case of, look, when you look at that bench as well, bringing on Eze after 50, 60 minutes, I know it's like we want him to start, but there's some options on the bench that you can bring on. You talk about, you've got, Trossard, we know that he can come on and do a job. Eze can come on and do a job. Obviously, we've got the, Lewis Skelly offers us something different at left back if it's not working out with Calafiori, and then Dowman. This is uncharted territory against this ageing back four of Liverpool. And listen, that's why Liverpool are in for Mark Gay at the moment, because they know they've got some issues at the back. In their last two games, they've shipped 4 goals for a team that's going for the Premier League title, and especially a championship winning side. That's not a good look, really, to ship that many goals. Dan?
Look, I've got to be honest, Max Dowman for me, I wouldn't mind seeing him in this game. A lot of people say keep him away from Anfield, he's 15 years old. If he believes that he's the guy to come on and to change the game, the kid's fearless. Now, I don't think he will get on today because of the amount of players we have got on the bench. The likes of Odegaard, Ezra's on the bench, obviously Waneri as well, and they're all ahead of him in the pecking order. But I haven't looked at Max Dowman once yet when he's been brought on and thought, this is too big for you. This is too big for you. So I think what we've done today is we've seen how strong the squad is now. Yeah, people are talking about who could have played instead of who. People are speaking about who could have got in, you know, the team ahead, the starting 11, who's on the bench. We've named a strong bench. I think we've got to say hats off to what we've done this summer because it looks like a strong squad right now. So there's no excuses today. No excuses for me. We've got enough quality out there.
Yeah.
Just to touch on the bench quickly, I do think you raise a really good point because I think this sort of game last season was a game that we potentially couldn't win or we could only draw because we didn't necessarily have the players to come off of the bench and make that sort of impact. And now that we look at the work we've done in the summer transfer window and the ambition that the club has shown in buying the players to have this squad where we have 4 or 5 players who we know can come off of the bench and win us the game, that's the difference.
Yeah, definitely. As we're watching now, Brighton have just levelled with
Go on,
City.
Brighton.
It's 1-1 in this game at the moment. So just had a super chat come in from at AES 1373. Gyökeres is going to starve for service.
Well, I hope not. I mean, got Madueke in
Starve?
wings. Let's hope he does get service, because if he does, I'm confident he can score. But he does need the service. We've seen that. He's a striker that relies on service. So that's most strikers do.
I think the service is going to come from Martinelli or Madueke. It ain't going to come from Marino. He's not the sort of
No.
through ball guy normally. Hopefully he impresses. The ball he put through to Saka at the Bernabeu was pretty decent, wasn't it? So hopefully he can put another couple of those. But I look at him and think maybe there's an opportunity there. But I think Madueke and Martinelli need a good game. Martinelli's stats against Liverpool are pretty good. Let's hope that continues today. Madueke, I was impressed against Leeds when he came on. I was more impressed on the right than I was on the left. I've got to be honest.
Yeah, definitely.
I think he's definitely a right winger more than a left winger. But Gyökeres, for me, if there is a chance, he's a bagsman. So he's going to put it in. So I'm so thankful now that we don't have to rely on to go, oh, he's through, is he gonna score, is he gonna miss, like I've been with the likes of Havertz and Jesus in the past, Eddie and Ketty, as those guys. I think we've got a bagsman now. So we've got to deliver today, man. We've got to deliver today.
And I think this could be interesting as well. Is he looking at, the Marino and Gyökeres pairing could be, target man style, knocking it down to Gyökeres, something for him to run onto, and maybe bullying Van Dijk and Kanate a bit more.
I must say, you know what? As we talk, I'm still trying to process that.
Yeah, same.
Because honestly, that just
Crazy,
kind of hit me for sixer. I just did not see that coming at all. I mean, presumably they've worked on this in training, because he would have known that Odegaard after last week was doubtful for this game. So obviously they've made that decision early. They've worked on it in training, but I'm still trying to get my head around how that works.
So another quick one, another super chat from at Texas Cannons. No Eze, no Marino, just so deflated, depressed, and a risk defensively of Calafiori up against Salah. You don't have to be a genius to see what's coming.
Well, I feel that pain. I did kind of mention that when the team has come out, that Calafiori and Marino were the two that I wouldn't have played. And to be fair, having said that, Ben White isn't fit, is he? He's not on the bench. So obviously it has to be that. It's either Lewis Skelly or Calafiori. I don't rate Calafiori positionally, and I have my worries over that. I hope that he can prove me wrong today and absolutely lock Salah up.
Yep.
But I would have loved to have seen Ben White and Timber as my two fullbacks. I think Timber would have had Salah for breakfast, but it doesn't seem it's going to be that way now. So obviously Calafiori has to have a good game. And as for Marino, all I can think is he wants aerial threat. I can't think of any reason why he would want Marino over Odegaard, Eze or Waneri. I cannot understand that one. It baffles me.
So at Henry Cow 2898, you guys are talking like this is the only game we have this whole season. Eze has been with the group for a few days. Not starting at Anfield is not surprising.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, I mean it is kind
Listen,
of.
if we're taking one game at a time, as people will say, you take one, then it is the whole season. It's a massive game because
it's huge.
Arsenal have not beaten, correct me if I'm wrong, we've not beaten Liverpool at Anfield since what?
2012.
But yeah.
Yeah, almost 13 years to the day.
Yeah.
I think it was September 2nd. I think it was Carzola and Podolski.
Arteta started.
Think how long ago that is. And let's be honest, these two teams today, these two are the title favourites, yeah?
Yeah.
Arsenal, like you said, we've had a great transfer window. There's a lot of expectation. This is a massive game for Arsenal today. It is. Okay, it's massive for Liverpool as well. They're at home. Some people would view them as favourites, but we need a result today. We absolutely need. I was chatting to Dan before. We cannot conceive of losing today.
Yeah.
I'll take a draw at the very least, but to lose would be horrific for me.
Do you know what? After our transfer window, I'm not going here for a draw. Like,
No, I'm not saying I'm going for a draw.
I
I'm
get
saying
that.
that's the absolute least
No,
I'll take.
that's
Bare
the
minimum,
absolute
yeah.
barest minimum. And you know, with these signings, I was really like looking forward to it. But obviously, it is a shame to see Eze not starting and Nathan Garrity 6204s. But I'm really disappointed. Why Eze not starting? You know, and I think that echoes most of what a lot of us are saying, because you're not talking about, you know, like say the Sesko, Man U buying Sesko. You can kind of half understand that, even though guy was 76 million quid. But
Must admit, I don't understand.
no, I don't.
Why is Sesko not?
Why would you?
I think Ella alluded to it earlier. You get these players in, you spend all this money, there's all this big hype and expectation. Sesko's had a pre-season, Eze's had a pre-season. Why can't he start?
Exactly.
I mean, the last time he played against Liverpool was only a couple of months ago. He damaged Liverpool. He scored against them, they won the FA Cup.
Even if he ain't starting, I'm not going to go, what, man,
Yeah.
what? You can't play Marino there ahead of the other options, surely. Like, you either start Odegaard and bring him off. If he's fit enough to be on the bench, he's fit enough to play. And then, or you start with Wanyeri, and you think, maybe the occasion might be just that little bit too big. I don't think it would be. I think he'd be ball out there. Marino has just zero flair or creativity in that midfield, in that attacking midfield now, is it? Because you've got Rice, Zubimendi, Marino. That is a very track back, negative midfield, isn't it? It's crazy.
I hope it works, because if it
Well,
doesn't,
That's the work.
the manager is going to get hella stick.
I don't
Just a
think the
bit.
point about him being only at the club for a couple of days is valid, because he's come from the Premier League and he knows what he's expecting. He's played already, even in this season. Like, it's not like we bought someone from you know, some rogue league. He's from this league. He plays in these games.
Listen, the other day I heard a story, I'm sure you guys heard it as well. The man stayed behind 2 hours extra after training.
Yes.
He's ready and rearing to go.
I
All this
100%
soul,
agree. He's
bring him
ready.
on.
I've heard all these stories as well about how well he's settled in, and, you know, to the club and all of that. So, but listen, it might just be a tactical masterstroke. So at Gonzalot 517, lineup implies we absorb pressure and counter attack. Well, I mean,
That's why
No, but
Say-
okay, so if it's counter-attacking you want, then surely Wanyeri would be better for that, because he's quicker than Mourinho,
Yeah.
he's more direct than Mourinho, he's a better dribbler than Mourinho. So surely the counter-attacking aspects, Wanyeri would suit that more.
Yeah. Well, on that note, at Hill924 has put, your analysis is poor on why Mourinho is starting. It is because Liverpool don't have natural DM. He wants to physically outmuscle in midfield. Let's hope you're right.
Outmuscle.
Well, Gravenberch, man, he's a holding midfielder. He's been brilliant. He was one of the best last year.
I know.
I
Hang
don't
on a
wanna-
minute, hang on.
Still
So
wrong.
that guy said, and respect to him, okay, he's got his opinion, everything's
Yeah.
subjective, but can you see Mourinho out-muscling Gravenberch? Do me a favour.
I mean, listen,
Mourinho's not known
Mourinho's-
for his physical
he's-
strength.
Yeah, he is, and aerially he's very good. I can only think that it's you know, it's an aerial. We're gonna be putting some.
I get the aerial
balls,
thing, but if
yeah.
you're telling me he's in
Set
there because
pieces.
of his physical strength,
Yeah.
nah. Not for me.
Well, what it seems like to me is, I'm a bit scared of this game. Let's
Yeah.
put Marino in there, because I need something to bulk up. I
Yeah.
think they're too good for us.
Yeah.
Come on, man, have a go at them. Let Ethan have a
Yeah.
flair. Let Eze have his thing, man. I don't.
As I said, if it works, I'll give him his flowers.
Of course,
Yeah.
man.
But for me, I'm
That's the
very.
word, though. That's
When
the
you when you read that out, myself and Dan looked at each other and thought, "What? We thought you may have got it wrong."
What, the lineup?
Yeah,
no,
we
I know.
thought-
When
Marino, I thought
when
that.
I looked
We
at
thought
it,
maybe you're
complete-
nervous.
It completely threw me. Honestly, I looked at it, and Ella looked at it, and she was like, "Have I got that right?" And I looked at it, and I was like, I couldn't quite believe what I was seeing, and I was like, "This can't be Marino. Let me just go through the defence, and then let's just go into the midfield." But look, I mean, it is what it is. At Turgy316 says traditional 4-4-2 with no overlapping fullback.
Could be 4-4-2 in and out of possession. It could be Marino up top more. It could be that.
Yeah,
I don't
it
know.
could be,
But
yeah.
I like
maybe
this.
we're not playing a 10 in and out of possession. I don't know.
I think it has something to do with that he is a goal threat and he does finish well.
Yep.
And he is, like I said, he's a cerebral footballer. He's got experience in Spanish international, played at the top level for many years. Big games like this he can handle. So I can see it from that perspective. Still surprised though.
I think it should be said that I do rate Marino. Like, I actually really like him. And,
That's not the thing, yeah, that's not the
and
issue,
it's I think it is positionally just wondering whether him there is the right decision. But then, like we just said, we're obviously going to have to see where it is he plays and what the formation looks like. Because then, if it is him going up front more, maybe that's the move. I don't know.
Well, we've got another one here from at Random Clips TV 4542. We're going to spam crosses. Stoke FC settings.
Listen, when it comes to all that, I'm not too perturbed about that, to be honest. People have said things about Stoke FC in the past. Even myself, I've criticised Arsenal for being too predictable, for only having one way of playing. So if we now have other elements to our attack, long balls, throw-ins, I'm not going to look down on that.
No, if he wins us the game,
Yeah,
I want to get out of here 3 points if we can. If we have to Stoke FC it a bit, I'll take it. I don't mind this being a part of our game. I don't want it to be all 90 minutes.
No.
There's a difference, right?
Exactly.
So if you have corners and set pieces, people go, oh, set piece against LA, Stoke FC. People are just jealous of that because we're very good at them. When we make that our 90-minute style, that's when we can get the mickey taken out of us. Particularly if we don't get 3 points out of it, because then you do start to go down the Everton, David Moyes, and the Stoke City, Stoke City, Tony Pulis kind of stuff. So we've got to be playing some football today.
So just before I wrap it up, I have got a few super chats which I'm going to read out quickly. So at Ian Hayward 441, starting Marino and Calafiori, is Arteta doubling down on last summer's transfer window? At Rajikula 8085, we're set to soak up pressure and counter. Yeah, I completely agree. That could be it. And at One Way Football 4231, I can't see Arsenal winning this with this lineup. I think Arteta has unfortunately got it wrong. I feel again. Then at The Herd 88, I can see arguments for why Eze and Odegaard don't start. I don't agree, but I understand it. But Marino instead of Ranieri, absolutely mind-boggling. And the last one, thank you very much everyone for sending in your super chats. All these chats, so at P4 Eldino, all these chats saying we are not scared for you to start 4 centre-backs and 3 DMs. Thank you very much guys for all your super chats, participation and comments. We are going to be back live again at BOXPARK, the place to watch football, eat and drink. That starts at 4 o'clock. I am going to be back with Mr. Potts, Laurie Lyle, Ella, and we have another guest which is going to be joining us on this fantastic panel for what is Super Sunday. It's live. It is Liverpool versus Arsenal. This is the game of the season to start with. And I'll tell you what, it's going to be absolutely mental in here because I have got a crazy bunch behind me. So please tune in, 4 o'clock. I've been Marty, AFTV. See you soon.